Good morning and thank you for joining us for today's fire situation report for Tuesday, September 15th, 2015, coming to you live on Periscope from the CAL FIRE headquarters in Sacramento. Overnight, crews have made continued good progress on several fires burning in California. A little bit of rain as well has helped. That, combined with cooler temperatures, higher humidity, have all given us a window of opportunity to make, as I mentioned, good progress on many fires. I want to switch right over to our interactive Google statewide fire map, which you can find on our website, fire.ca.gov. You too can zoom into these fires and see the exact perimeter of where the fires so far have burned. Now, the latest on the destructive Valley Fire that has burned into Lake, mostly in Lake County, but also parts of Napa as well as Sonoma counties. That fire has now grown to 67,000 acres. There is 15% containment on this fire, so progress is being made. But you can just see how large this fire is, and really as it has grown through many different communities, specifically Middletown, Hidden Valley Lake, Cobb. Both those communities hit very hard by this fire. Now, right now, our estimates are about 585 homes have been destroyed, hundreds of other structures. This was a very destructive fire. Yesterday, those cooler temperatures, as I mentioned, helped out. We didn't see as much fire activity as we did over the weekend. That's the good news. We can't become complacent, though. Even though the cooler temperatures are helping firefighters make progress, look how large this fire is. It is, almost 100 square miles in size. That's what about 67,000 acres would translate to. So a huge amount of area. Firefighters will be working to build containment all the way around this perimeter. That will take time. Again, 15% so far contained. The cooler temperatures, though, give us an opportunity as we don't see as much fire activity, at least spreading that fire. That's when crews can really focus on that containment, making stands where we can actually stop this fire. Now, the hope is that containment will be built before the weather shifts. Now, cooler temperatures, a little bit of rainfall, light rainfall in parts of the fire have definitely helped out, but we cannot become complacent because this fire still has a lot of ability to continue to grow. It only takes a couple hot spots to jump over the line and the fire will race off. I do want to, though, give you a little bit of perspective. This is Hidden Valley Lakes. Here's Clear Lake right over here to the west. This is where the massive Rocky and the Jerusalem fire burned. So this fire really burning right up to where those other two large destructive fires were just a couple months ago. So far, 9,000 structures remain threatened by this fire. As I mentioned, mass destruction, unfortunately, from this fire. In fact, this fire is likely, when it's all said and done, to probably hit the top 5 of the most destructive wildfires in California's recorded history. So it is definitely, definitely been a very, very destructive fire. Evacuations remain in effect. Now, this morning, the Lake County Sheriff's Department are allowing some residents to get back, escorted back to their homes to get personal belongings like medication, pets, anything that is critical items. Those are specifically in some of the areas on the northern edge of the fire. Hidden Valley Lakes up near the top portion of the fire as well. So look to the Lake County Sheriff's Department. They are doing, like I said, they are doing some escorted visits back to homes to get important documents. Evacuations still remain in effect, though, throughout much of this area. There are also some advisory evacuations down here in the Napa County area as well. The evacuation order, just to give you some perspective on this map, really is a very widespread, trying to get Calistoga to show back up here on this map, but there it is. All the way from the southern portion of Clear Lake, which is Highway 29, runs right along there, and then it comes down this way. So all the way south of Highway 29 from Kelseyville and Lower Lake, all the way down to Calistoga, all the way to the east over here into the Lake Berryessa Estates in Napa County. Now, this fire has also burned into parts of Sonoma County. Zooming in right here, this fire has gotten closer into the area known as the geysers. That's where a lot of the geothermal power facility is located. There was some destruction, some damage to some of those power facilities as well. But again, it is in a part of Sonoma County. So just recapping, if you're just joining us, the fire, 67,000 acres, 15% contained. Hundreds of additional crews were brought in overnight and for the last several days to continue to increase the number of personnel we have on this fire. There's a lot of damage, there's a lot of destruction, and there's a lot of work still left to be done. Firefighters today focusing on putting out hot spots throughout this area, making sure we have containment all around this fire. Many residents ask, well, in my area the fire has burned through, why can't I get back home? You have to remember there is a lot of infrastructure damage, downed trees, power lines. All those hazards have to be dealt with before we can safely get homeowners back in. But in many areas, again, in that northern portion, the Lake County Sheriff's Department are allowing residents to get back into their homes to at least get their important medication as well as pets or anything that's critical. So that is the latest on the destructive Valley Fire. I want to move now to the east over to Calaveras and Amador counties. That's where the Butte Fire continues to burn. That fire has now grown to 71,660 acres throughout much of Amador and Calaveras counties. This fire, though, is continuing to grow. Crews, though, are making very good progress on this fire. There's not a perimeter right now, but this fire is burned just east of Jackson, just north of San Andreas, just to the west of Arnold. So far, 71,660 acres have burned. That fire, 30% contained. The good news on this fire, as good progress has been made, many of the evacuated residents have been able to get back home. In fact, last night some additional evacuations were lifted, so many of those people are still going back home. There still remains over 6,000 homes that are threatened, especially up in the Mountain Ranch area. That's one of those areas that really was hit hard by this fire, as well as the Jesus Maria area. This fire has burned right through this area. We still have a lot of hot spots that we're putting out. A little bit of rain overnight on the fire definitely gave crews a good opportunity to continue to build that containment, continue to get those hot spots put out. There are still evacuations on that fire. I want to talk about another fire just to the north up in Butte County. That's the Lumpkin Fire. That fire has been burning now for several days, but yesterday fire activity really picked up, mainly due to the fact that we had some pretty strong winds. In fact, even though temperatures were cooler yesterday, we had a little extra humidity. Winds were really the challenge, gusty winds through much of Northern California. This is the Lumpkin Fire. It is burning in the Robinson Mill area. 850 acres have burned. The fire is 20% contained. There are evacuations across the Lumpkin Road area, so if you live in this area, do be aware there are some evacuations. Again, I'll just zoom out so you get a little bit better perspective exactly where it is. Here is Lake Oroville, so this is kind of on the eastern edge of Lake Oroville itself. Here's Forbes-town. Again, this is the Lumpkin Fire near Robinson's Mill, 850 acres. 20% contained. CAL FIRE has activated an incident management team to help manage this fire as it has become such a large fire as well. The last fire that I want to talk about today is the Rough Fire. That continues to be a very large fire. In fact, the largest fire of the year in California. The Rough Fire has already charred nearly 140,000 acres in Fresno County. As it comes up on the screen, you can see just how large it has grown. Again, nearly 140,000 acres have burned in this fire, making it the 16th largest fire in California's recorded history. 40% contained on this fire, but a massive fire. Most of this fire is on the Sierra and the Sequoia National Forest. The U.S. Forest Service has 2 incident management teams running command of this fire. CAL FIRE also has an incident management team over here near Squaw Valley and Dunlap, helping to build some contingency lines so that if this fire does push to the southwest, closer to Squaw Valley as well as Dunlap, that we have a good location where we can hopefully hold back this fire and keep those communities safe. If you want more information on the Rough Fire from the U.S. Forest Service, we have a link on our website at fire.ca.gov. I want to show you a couple photos that really just, again, gives you some perspective. This is from the initial attack of the Valley Fire in Lake County. You can see the fire, how much smoke it is putting off. And as I push down here, you can see these are homes built into forested areas. This is a lot of what our firefighters face. These aren't subdivisions where it's just pavement all the way across. These are a large number of homes that are built into forested lands. That's where defensible space comes in so important. Having clearance around your home, like many of these homes do, where you have all the dead grass, the dead vegetation completely removed around your home, that's what's critical, so that when this giant fire comes towards your home, the hope is that it will just continue to burn all the way around. But a lot of people ask, well, how come this home stayed and this one didn't? We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but if you weren't watching, that's because a large fire like this is throwing embers a half a mile ahead of itself. Those embers land and rain down on homes. The embers catch that home on fire, and before crews can even get to that location, the home is already on fire. Now, if you live in an area where a fire is approaching, here are some important tips that you should take. First, you should already have an evacuation plan in place. You should know what you're going to take so that you have it already set aside. Put it in your vehicle. Turn your vehicle around so that if you have to go, you can turn the car on and you head out. Make sure that vehicle is outside the garage in case power is lost. You don't want to have the car in the garage when you can't get the garage open. Turn your lights on. Leaving the lights on will help firefighters be able to recognize your home through all the smoke and through the haze. Unlock your doors. Make sure that firefighters have an opportunity, if we need to get inside that home. Put out any hot spots inside your home itself. One thing that happens often as a fire is approaching a home, the radiant heat from outside the fire goes through the windows and actually starts to superheat the inside of your room, your bedroom, the furniture. Any items that are right up against the window start to really become hot. They eventually can combust, and that's a fire then starts inside your home and actually starts to burn the home from the inside out. So close those blinds. Make sure the blinds are closed to help keep that heat from the outside. Now, if you're doing any renovation, double pane windows, that helps keep that heat from getting into the inside of your home. New homes built now are required to have those double pane windows as well. But that's some important tips for your home itself. Again, another photo that just shows you, again, just how massive this fire was. Now, I want to switch over here to show you a little bit about the rain that we saw yesterday and what we can expect today. Again, another day of cooler temperatures, which is very nice. You can see light rain throughout the Sacramento, Northern California region. So many of the fires that we are battling right now are going to get, hopefully, a little bit of light rain. If I zoom in a little bit further here, you can actually see where those fires are located themselves. So over on the Lumpkin Fire, right here in the light blue, they are going to get a slight amount of rain. Over in Lake County, right in this area right here, you see even parts of Lake County going to get a little bit more rain. Again, this isn't substantial, but possibly in Lake County we might get a quarter of an inch. So that's a good amount. Over on the Butte County Fire, or the Butte Fire in Amador and Calaveras counties, we could receive up to a tenth of an inch. So a light dusting of rain, still a welcome sight for firefighters. Still a lot of work to be done though. Again, 12 major fires. 13,000 residents battling those fires. If you missed it, just to give you a quick recap, the Valley Fire burning in Lake Sonoma and Lake Sonoma and Napa counties, 67,000 acres, 15% contained. The Butte Fire burning in Amador and Calaveras counties, just north of San Andreas and east of Jackson. That fire has burned 71,660 acres. 37% contained, and let me clarify, I may have said 30% earlier, 37% contained on that fire. The Lumpkin Fire in Butte County near Robinson's Mill, that fire 850 acres, 20% contained. And the last one that I mentioned was the Rough Fire burning in Fresno County, 139,133 acres, 40% contained. If you want more information on the dozen fires that are burning, or you want to see this interactive statewide Google map, visit our website at fire.ca.gov. You can always follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well for any breaking news, any changes that may occur throughout the day, any new evacuations, or hopefully in some of the areas where we're able to actually allow residents back in. Now, that's the latest on the fire situation report here in California. I'm Daniel Berlant. Have a fire safe day.